Artifacts arrive in fragments, components recovered for examination, each piece documented before integration into the build. Welcome to 35th Scale Modeler, where I bring World War II history to life in 1/35th scale. This is Inside the 88 Build Series Part 1 Alpha. This transmission examines the aftermarket components chosen for this build. The first component is the Chuanyu turned metal barrel, a precisely machined replacement for the kit's molded part, chosen for its sharper definition and more accurate scale profile. This piece forms the foundation for the gun assembly, and its clean machining sets the tone for the rest of the build. The next component is Tamiya's 0.8 mm cable. It replaces the molded cable included in the kit, which is thicker than it should be for this artillery piece. This aftermarket line brings the diameter back into proper scale, and will be used on the cable reels where accuracy is most visible. This is a length of N-scale model railroad chain chosen for its smaller link size at 45 links per inch. It replaces the molded chain detail included in the kit and provides a more accurate option for several areas on the artillery piece. These are the Peddinghaus decals for the 88 mm flak, printed with precise alignment and clear definition. They introduce additional small details that enhance the build and contribute to the kit's overall visual refinement. I'll be using a combination of the Peddinghaus decals with the kit decals. This is the Yan model pitch balancing machine. These are actually the Equilibrators and are part of the recoil cylinder housing, a critical component in managing the gun's recoil phase. These will replace the simplified two-piece kit parts with no visible seams and provide clear mechanical definition, improving the look of the completed kit. They also add a level of precision that becomes noticeable once the barrel assembly comes together. This is the Voyager model photo etch set. The front of the box highlights the major upgrades included in the package, giving a clear overview of the detail enhancement it provides. On the back, Voyager lists the individual frets and components, showing the full scope of the set and how it expands the level of refinement available for the build. The first fret includes several functional details: the electrical cable spools, elevation hardware, the mud guards, and even the head of a shovel. These parts replace simplified kit components and begin setting the overall level of refinement for the upgrade set. This fret contains the photo etch parts for the zoomed out motorcycle. I won't be using the motorcycle in this build, but I'm showing the fret here for completeness. These next two frets are identical, and they focus on several functional details for the build. They include the parts for the fuse setter, along with the stowage boxes mounted on the bogies. Voyager also adds a range of smaller fittings here: the wing nuts, clamps, and other fine hardware that benefit from being rendered in thin brass. This next fret includes the parts for the gun shield, which corrects the thickness and brings the final build much closer to scale. It also includes three small brass stencils: a ship, a tank, and an aircraft, intended for painting kill markings onto the shield. It's a distinctive addition that reflects how crews personalized their equipment. This fret includes the parts for the elevation mechanism, along with the mounting brackets for the cable spools. It also provides several components for the recuperator, giving this area of the gun a noticeably finer level of definition than the kit offers. This small fret includes the seat for the bogie, along with a few clamps and other small fittings. This piece of clear film carries the printed indicator dials. Some of these won't be used here, as they apply only to the Flak 37, but I'm showing this sheet for completeness. These frets are small enough that showing all three together seemed more practical for this examination. They contain the parts for the lock and chain, a set of extremely tiny rivet heads, and some of the elevation gear details. The scale of these pieces is remarkable. They're some of the smallest components in the entire Voyager set. This fret includes some parts for the outriggers, as well as the base ends for the ammunition. They're straightforward components, but they'll noticeably enhance the overall look of the model and the ammunition details. The instruction sheet begins with page 1, which focuses on the outriggers, the pedestal, and the elevation controls. Page 2 moves into the upper and lower carriages, with additional steps for the outriggers, the ammunition, and some figure details. Page 3 shifts to the transport bogies and the electrical cable spools, laying out the smaller fittings in clear sequence. Page 4 continues with the bogies and the associated tools, refining the details around the transport system. And page 5 concludes with the gun shield and the zoomed out motorcycle, rounding out the final components covered in the Voyager set. This concludes the examination of the aftermarket components.